Only when I had walked far enough away that Lin Wanwan could no longer hear my inner thoughts. Did her tightly furrowed brows finally relax? Wanwan, these past 5 years without you, I've missed you so much. Now that the annoying obstacle, was out of the way, Zhou Zimo was ready to pour his heart out to her again. Lin Wanwan wasn't in the mood. She just gave a cold, dismissive him. Living all alone in a foreign country made me realize how much you used to protect me. I finally understand that you're the only one who can make me happy. Zhou Zimo pursed his lips, looking like he wanted to say more but was holding back. Wanwan, do you have feelings for Mu Chen? What kind of feelings are you talking about? Lin Wanwan gave him a sideways glance. Romantic ones, of course. 2 people getting married need to be in love, right? You can only be happy if there's love. Well, at least half of what he said was wrong. He was saying that on purpose, trying to awaken the old Wanwan who couldn't live without him. Back then, Lin Wanwan was absolutely certain that marrying him would guarantee her happiness. I don't love him. Lin Wanwan's expression was completely flat. Zhou Zimo's face instantly lit up with joy. He was just about to speak, and Lin Wanwan suddenly shifted her tone. But, I am quite interested in him right now. Does that count as feelings to you? The moment the words left her mouth, all the color drained from Zhou Zimo's face. Realizing she might not love him anymore was one thing, but hearing it straight from her own lips was another entirely. Wanwan, are you serious? Zhou Zimo's voice sounded like he had swallowed sand. It was incredibly hoarse and raspy. This blow was absolutely devastating to him. The woman whose eyes and heart used to belong only to him had just admitted she was interested in another man. That hurt more than losing absolutely everything. Lin Wanwan gave a cold, indifferent nod. It completely shattered his final glimmer of hope. He wished so badly that he had just misheard her, or that she was just saying it out of spite. But sadly for him, neither was true. Lin Wanwan was dead serious. Why? Zhou Zimo's knuckles turned white as he gripped the charm on his bag. Are you trying to say I don't love you deeply? Lin Wanwan cut him off ruthlessly. The mocking look in her eyes couldn't have been more obvious. But you were the one who kept rejecting my love. Does it even matter if I love you or not anymore? And my interest in Mu Chen shouldn't matter to you, either. So why are you even asking? Don't you think it's a bit strange? I just didn't want to make it too easy for you. I wanted you to think that marrying me was something you had to beg and fight for. That way, you'd actually know how to cherish me. If you were constantly focused on me, I would finally be able to hold my head up high in front of you and the Lin family. But I never expected that your love for me was this cheap. I went abroad, made something of myself, and came back, only to find you interested in another man. One wrong move, and I've lost the whole damn game. Zhou Zimo took a massive breath, yanking so hard he tore the tassel right off his bag. He forced himself to calm down. I regret it, okay? Lin Wanwan's eyes were dark and icy cold. Hearing Zhou Zimo's inner thoughts left her feeling nothing but utter disgust for him. To think he had been trying to manipulate and control her this whole time. What sheer audacity and twisted ambition. My own thoughts when I went to the washroom might have been harsh, but they were spot on. She really had terrible taste in men. Noted. Lin Wanwan's reaction was as flat as a still lake. The very thing she had always longed for, she could now get with just the crook of a finger. But she was completely unmoved by it now. Your regret is your own business. I'm married now, so I'm really sorry. That was practically spelling out that they had zero chance. Seeing his years of scheming going down the drain, Zhou Zimo's emotions instantly broke down. Lin Wanwan, you really have no heart. His face was instantly covered in tears. Anyone would feel pity seeing a grown man cry like this. But once Lin Wanwan grew sick of someone, no matter how handsome and dashing he was, it wouldn't stir up even the slightest ripple in her heart. She gave absolutely no response. It was hard to tell if she just didn't want to, or if she simply couldn't be bothered to. But whatever the case was, it was undoubtedly pushing him over the edge, making him break down even more. You used to love me so much. Why don't you love me anymore? Zhou Zimo sobbed while wiping away his tears, his accusing tone sounding just like a wronged child. You're such a liar. You promised you would always wait for me. Lin Wanwan remained completely unfazed. She glanced at the clock on the wall. He's been in the restroom for 15 minutes now. Did that guy sneak off? Lin Wanwan's eyes grew dangerously dark. If that man dared to run away on her, he couldn't blame her for showing no mercy. You know I've always been slow to warm up to people. Plus, I was too young back then. I was still so clueless about love and relationships. But I am absolutely certain now. I love you too. I fell in love with you long before I even realized it. Joe Zamo had no idea she wasn't listening at all, still pouring his heart out in tears. I took my sweet time strolling out of the restroom, having just taken a call from Lu Zubai, which was why I took a little longer to get back. Just as I reached the door to the ward, I heard a man's muffled sobs coming from inside. I pushed the door open with a big grin and said, "Mr. Joe. Please don't cry by my wife's hospital bed like that. People might think she just passed away." Joe Zemo's sobbing choked to a sudden halt. He whipped his head around and glared at me with pure resentment. It has to be this clueless bastard. He must have used some filthy, underhanded tricks to bewitch Wanwan. He definitely talked a ton of trash about me behind my back. Otherwise, after loving me for all these years, how could she just stop loving me out of nowhere? Wanwan definitely still has feelings for me. I know I still have a chance to turn this around. My years of hard work absolutely cannot go to waste. Hearing Joe Zemo's inner thoughts made Lin Wanwan incredibly irritated, while also filling her with a deep sense of fury. All her love for him had been nothing but a calculated game to him. Being played for a fool for so many years was an absolute humiliation for someone as proud and arrogant as her. Hey, don't look at me like that. It's scaring me. I had no idea what had happened between the two of them during the 15 minutes I was gone. But judging by the current vibe, their little chat had completely fallen apart. If I didn't stir the pot now, when would I? I'm literally terrified of him. I quickly jogged over to the bed, squatted down, and rested my chin right on the edge of the mattress. Looking up at Lin Wanwan with pitiful puppy dog eyes, I whined, "The way he's staring at me. It's like he wants to eat me alive." I really don't think it's that serious, right? What on earth is he getting so worked up about? It's just too much to handle. Lin Wanwan shifted her gaze and looked down at me. The corner of her mouth twitched almost imperceptibly. With a personality as wildly punchable as mine, is it really a mystery whatever she might have done to me in a past life? At this moment, Lin Wanwan still didn't quite understand that once you truly fall in love with someone, it's just like handing them your biggest weakness on a silver platter. If one day, the person you love decides to hurt you, you're the one who willingly handed them the knife. If you didn't love them so deeply, why would you ever give someone the power to break you? Niu Chen, that is enough out of you. The fury in Joe Zemo's chest rushed straight to his head, and he pointed a shaking finger right at my face. You're just doing this to piss me off on purpose. How am I pissing you off? Hey now, don't go framing an innocent person. Every word I said is the absolute truth. You know damn well that between Wanwan and me, what do I know? I cut him off without a shred of politeness, playfully sticking my tongue out. I just turned 20 this year. You and Sister Wanwan are already 26. And you two were busy getting cozy. I hadn't even graduated middle school yet. How could I possibly know what's going on between you guys, Brother Joe? Look, I know you like Sister Wanwan, and she used to like you back, too. But we're married now, yay. Though, if you guys still want to be together, that's fine too. After all, since she's okay with me seeing other people, I shouldn't act all petty and jealous, right? I could let you guys meet up every now and then or whatever. What kind of absolute garbage are you spouting? Sister Wanwan, are you hearing the nonsense coming out of his mouth? You said you were interested in a guy like this? I seriously can't believe it. Joe Zamo roared at the top of his lungs. I am only 20, not some 26-year-old washed-up geezer. I can only be considered a boy, not some mature grown man, or an uncle, I retorted with a cheeky grin. Man, this felt so damn good. Pissing this jerk off until he's practically choking on it. Whether Joe Zamo was actually choking on it was hard to say for sure right now. But he was definitely furious. His body literally swayed a couple of times. He squeezed a few words through gritted teeth. What's wrong, Mr. Uncle? Oh, my bad, I mean, Brother Joe, why are you screaming my name so excitedly? I blinked my big, innocent eyes, putting on the purest, most harmless face I could muster. Compared to his raging, explosive state, this look of mine was definitely way more lovable. Even Joe Zamo realized it. He knew he must look incredibly ugly and unhinged right now. He took several massive breaths, barely managing to force his expression back into place. Then, glaring at me with pure venom, he snapped, "You really love playing the innocent victim, don't you?" I tilted my head, plastering a confused look on my face. Brother Joe? What does playing the victim mean? I don't really get it. Zhou Zimo let out a cold, mocking scoff and lowered his gaze to Lin Wanwan. Sister Wanwan, he says he doesn't understand what that means. But you should know it perfectly well, right? Lin Wanwan's powerful family background, along with her 1-in-a-million flawless beauty, meant she was constantly surrounded by men. But in the past, she only had eyes for him, always giving a cold shoulder to the guys throwing themselves at her. There had been one exception, though. Back in Lin Wanwan's high school days, a guy in her class pulled some serious strings and actually earned a sliver of her admiration. When Zhou Zimo found out, he confronted the guy and realized he was a textbook manipulator. He laid it all out for Lin Wanwan, explaining exactly what kind of scheming trash that guy really was. She had always listened to his advice, and from that day on, she absolutely loathed guys like that. This was his ace in the hole, a crushing counterattack. But unfortunately, the current Lin Wanwan was no longer the obedient girl who hung on to his every word and catered to his every whim. I watched as Lin Wanwan gave me a cool, indifferent glance, then turned to Zhou Zimo and fired back. Zhou Zimo swayed sharply, his expression turning incredibly awkward and grim. Brother Zhou, I was just joking with you. Of course I know what that means. But I'm not playing the victim here. I'm playing cute. I tapped my chin with my index finger, flashing a super charming smile. Acting cute for a woman who likes me will definitely make her like me even more. It's a win-win, why wouldn't I do it? Wanwan doesn't like you at all. Zhou Zimo roared furiously. Of course I know Lin Wanwan doesn't like me. So, even though they're fighting right now, and she's giving Zhou Zimo the cold shoulder, I wouldn't bet on her playing along just to piss him off. After all, losing that bet would be super embarrassing. Because of that, I thought for a second and came up with a bulletproof response. I've got a pretty thick skin, so even if your precious Wanwan doesn't like me, I'll just pretend that she does. Man, I'm an absolute genius. Brother Zhou, even though you're getting a bit old, and acting cute really doesn't suit you anymore, there's just no other way. If you want to win my wife's affection, you should probably give it a try. My wife might not say it out loud, but deep down, she might totally be into it. My words were as savage and infuriating as humanly possible. Calling her my wife over and over made his blood boil. If it were anyone else with a bit less self-control, they would be screaming their lungs out by now. But Zhou Zimo is a scheming guy. Otherwise, he wouldn't have made Wanwan fall for him. So he knew that with how things were going, making a comeback was impossible. His tightly clenched fists slowly relaxed, and he forced out an awkward smile. You're still too young and inexperienced. A man's charm isn't just about being cute. But that's okay, I'll prove it to you. I'll show you exactly what kind of man suits her best. I shrugged, completely unfazed. My attitude pissed him off more than any words could. Afraid he'd lose his mind if he stayed any longer. He looked at Lin Wanwan, his face pale, and said, I'm not feeling well. I'm going to head out. I'll come see you tomorrow. He finished speaking, but got zero response from her. In the past, the second he said he wasn't feeling well, Lin Wanwan would get incredibly anxious, treating him like a fragile little baby. Even during the 5 years he was living abroad, whenever he got sick, she would have people take him to the hospital, making sure he was cared for down to the smallest detail. But now, she was completely indifferent. If this wasn't falling out of love, then what was it? Zhou Zimo's eyes grew red, refusing to let his pride be completely dragged through the mud. He didn't say another word, just turned and walked away. I refuse to accept this. After working so hard for all these years, is it really impossible for me to marry into the Lin family? I absolutely refuse to accept it. No freaking way. I can't just give up this easily. With my background, marrying a woman from a powerful family is only possible with Lin Wanwan. As long as there's even a shred of hope, I have to grab it. Otherwise, I'll be stuck as a nobody forever. Lin Wanwan lowered her gaze, listening to his inner thoughts, a deep sense of mockery flashing in her eyes. So he just wanted to marry her to escape his pathetic status. That was his one and only goal from the very beginning. To think she had wasted her genuine love on him, fooling herself for all these years. Well, it's getting late. I should head back too. I've got classes at the university tomorrow. Now that Zhou Zimo is gone, there's no need for me to act cute anymore. My sharp features returned to their usual icy expression. It's a real shame you're not an actor, with how fast you change faces. The corners of Lin Wanwan's mouth curled up noticeably. She seemed to be in a fantastic mood. The reason she fell for Joe Zamo in the first place was, 1. He really knew how to play his cards. And 2. He was exactly her type. I, on the other hand, am his complete opposite. But for some reason, the more she looks at me now, the more I grow on her. She even thinks I'm cute when I'm being annoying. Lin Wanwan thought she must be losing her mind. Was it because she heard my tragic inner thoughts, and knew how deeply I used to love her? She couldn't figure it out herself. All she knew was that until she found out exactly what I'd been through. There was no way she was letting me leave her side. If you dare to watch, I'd gladly perform. I replied with a deadpan face, my appearance fee is 30 million a show, if you dare to pay it. Lin Wanwan couldn't hold back a laugh. Wow, you really know how to ask for an arm and a leg. Hey, if you're bold enough to watch, why shouldn't I be bold enough to ask? I stood up, dusted off my clothes, and got ready to leave. Let the nurses take good care of you tonight. No way. It wasn't that Lin Wanwan couldn't bear to part with me. She just refused because she was terrified I'd drag someone else over from the psych ward. Even now, just thinking about that crazy guy from this afternoon made her feel a little sick to her stomach. I furrowed my brow, just about to say something to scare her a little. But then when Xiujun walked in from outside, I groaned internally. Today was just endlessly exhausting. I had barely gotten rid of Joe Zamo, and now here came Wen Xiujun. Even if I were a gladiator, I wouldn't have the energy to fight anyone this late at night. Seeing me holding my backpack, ready to leave, Wen Xiujun glared at me and demanded, "Are you leaving?" I gave her a cold nod. "It's getting late. If I don't head back, my mom will start worrying." "Oh, give me a break," Wen Xiujun said, her face full of blatant mockery. "Like that stepmother of yours would ever worry about you. She's probably praying you never come home, so no one can fight her precious son for the inheritance. If you don't have anything nice to say, maybe just keep your mouth shut. The Lin family is filthy rich. I'm sure you can afford a needle and thread to sew that mouth of yours shut." Couldn't be bothered to bicker with her anymore. I slung my bag over my shoulder and walked straight out the door. Wen Xiujun actually learned her lesson this time and didn't even reach out to stop me. Once I was out of the hospital room, Wen Xiujun hurried over to the bed. She set a thermos down on the nightstand. "Sweetie, Mom made you some homemade chicken soup. This car crash really took a toll on your body, so you really need to nourish yourself properly. Drink a few extra bowls later." Lin Wanwan just gave a lukewarm nod, completely silent. As Wen Xiujun poured the chicken soup into a bowl, she discreetly observed her daughter's expression. Once she was done, she tried to sound casual as she said, "I ran into Zamo downstairs just now. His eyes were all red. Did you two get into a fight?" "No." "Then why was he?" "I know exactly what you're trying to pry out of me." Lin Wanwan cut her off. Her eyes dead calm, completely unfazed. "I've told you, other than Grandpa Lin, no one gets to dictate my marriage. And as for my love life, absolutely no one has the right to pry or make decisions for me." The more she spoke, the sharper her glare became. Wen Xiujun choked on her words. She wanted to say something, but didn't dare open her mouth. Finally, she let out a helpless sigh. After that, she fed Lin Wanwan 2 bowls of chicken soup. Then packed up her things and left. Xu Jiaqi was standing right outside the door. Wen Xiujun walked past her, but then took a step back. She looked at her with a heavy, scrutinizing gaze. "Assistant Xu, you've been standing outside this whole time. So, do you know what happened with Zamo in there? What exactly happened between the 3 of them?" Wen Xiujun leaned in close to Xu Jiaqi, and asked in a hushed whisper right by her ear. Xu Jiaqi's eyes flickered slightly. She gave a gentle shake of her head. "President Lin instructed me that whenever others are around, I should keep my distance from the room. So, I honestly don't know anything." Wen Xiujun clicked her tongue in annoyance, her expression turning rather sour. But since Xu Jiaqi was Wanwan's person after all, she didn't dare push her luck with the attitude. She had no choice but to spin on her heel and storm off. As for me, I left the hospital and headed straight home. Chu Huilin was sitting on the living room couch, watching TV with a sheet mask on her face. Hearing the door open, she turned her head. Seeing that it was me coming back inside, she peeled off the mask she had just put on. "Why on earth are you back so late at night? If I went back there, it'd just be me and the housekeeper. Living on the 2nd floor all by myself gives me the creeps." I tossed my keys on the shoe cabinet in the entryway, walked into the living room, and sat down right next to her. Besides, living there is nowhere near as cozy as being home. Chu Huilin gave me a sharp, sideways glance. She let out a cold huff. Even if you did marry into her family and are planning to divorce Lin Wanwan, running back home just a couple of days after the wedding, who knows what kind of gossip will spread if people find out. I couldn't care less about what other people say. I grabbed a grape from the fruit bowl and popped it into my mouth, leaning back on the couch with a relaxed sigh. Even if no woman ever wants to marry me in the future, I totally wouldn't care. Spending the rest of my life right here with you guys sounds perfect to me. Stop spouting such absolute nonsense. Chu Huilin glared at me, her eyes flashing with annoyance. Keep talking like that and I'll kick you right out of this house. You can go fend for yourself out on the streets. I just gave her a casual, unbothered smile. Oh, would you really have the heart to kick me out? It's not like I carried you in my womb for 9 months. Why wouldn't I have the heart to do it? If I had heard those words before I was reborn, I definitely would have been pretty hurt by them. It would have only made me resent her even more. But now, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. I swallowed the sweet grape and stood up from the plush couch. You knew all along I'd be coming back tonight. Otherwise, you wouldn't have left these grapes out on the coffee table. Mom, your words never match your heart. It's gonna get you into trouble one of these days. Chu Huilin let out a soft scoff. My biggest mistake was not kicking you to the curb years ago. Do you have any idea how much food I've wasted feeding you? I just let out a cheeky chuckle. Well, I plan on freeloading here for many years to come. So you're just gonna have to deal with it. The moment the words left my mouth, I happily sprinted up the stairs. Mu Chen, when are you moving your stuff back here? Chu Huilin stood up and yelled after me. I stopped dead in my tracks on the stairs. I glanced back down at her. I was actually planning on moving everything tomorrow. Could you do me a favor and call a moving company for me? Good grief, did I owe you a massive debt in my past life? Chu Huilin shouted, her voice dripping with annoyance. But I knew she'd definitely make the call for me. Grinning from ear to ear, I made my way up the rest of the stairs. Stepping back into my long-missed, cozy room, I took a deep, relaxing breath. The soothing scent of lavender immediately filled my nose, melting away all the tension in my nerves. Before I was reborn, I hardly ever came back here after getting married. But every single time I did, the room was always absolutely spotless, filled with that same lavender scent. Even when I stayed away for months on end, she must have been cleaning my room on a regular basis. It's just a shame I was such an idiot in my past life. I noticed it back then, but I never bothered to think about why she did it. I let out a soft sigh and walked over to the large wardrobe. I reached out and opened the doors, revealing neatly folded, clean pajamas inside. I smiled to myself, grabbed a set, and headed into the bathroom. Once my nerves finally relaxed, an overwhelming wave of exhaustion washed over me. Afraid I might actually fall asleep in the tub, I gave up on the idea of a nice, long soak. I took a quick hot shower instead, stepped out, and collapsed onto my soft bed. I let out a deep sigh of relief. Ah, it felt so good. To be studying at the beautiful age of 20, hanging out with friends whenever I have free time. Living happily just for myself. Isn't that a million times better than chasing after a woman? Letting her dictate my mood every single second? Someone who has tasted the bitterness of life never wants to swallow that bitter pill ever again. That completely relaxed state is exactly where I am right now. I rolled over, running through all the things I needed to do at school tomorrow. And just like that, I drifted off into a deep sleep. The next morning, when I got up and went downstairs, I saw Chu Huilin on the phone. I didn't want to interrupt her, so I just stood there and listened for a moment. Hearing that she was talking to the moving company, I turned around and poured a glass of warm water. The second she hung up, I walked over and handed her the glass. Mom, you've been working so hard. Chu Huilin shot me a glance. She must have been in a pretty good mood today, because she took the water without saying a word. My eyes lit up with an idea. I reached out and gently massaged her shoulders. Mom, I need to find a hospital for my clinical rotations. Do you know anyone working in one? Doctor or anyone, really. It's always so much easier when you know someone on the inside. Chu Huilin half closed her eyes, clearly enjoying the massage. My stomach was giving me trouble a few years back, so I saw a doctor at Tong Hospital. She was pretty young, but her medical skills were genuinely impressive. I went to see her so often that we actually got to know each other pretty well. We exchanged personal numbers later on and have kept in touch on and off over the years. I can ask her about it for you. Wow, that would be amazing. I knew you had the best connections, Mom. You always make the most useful friends wherever you go. I completely understood how to handle her now. Play along, sweet-talk her a bit, and everything goes smoothly. No matter how proud and stubborn she could be, she couldn't resist a little flattery. She couldn't even bring herself to snap at me. She just rolled her eyes and left it at that. After a hearty breakfast, I headed out and caught a ride to campus. I left pretty early today. When I got to school, I texted Lu Zubai. He replied that he had just rolled out of bed, so I just headed straight to the classroom. When I walked in, I noticed that our usual seats had already been taken. A girl I didn't recognize was sitting there. I'd never seen her in our class before. As I walked past her, I couldn't help but steal a curious glance. But unexpectedly, she suddenly looked up, and our eyes met. I gave her an awkward little nod, but her face remained totally ice cold. She just looked back down without a single word. Now I didn't just feel awkward. I felt like a complete outsider. I furrowed my brows slightly. Even though I was a bit annoyed, it wasn't worth arguing with someone who clearly had no manners. So, I kept my mouth shut and found a seat a bit further away from her. After setting my bag down, I pulled out my massive anatomy textbook. Reviewing what we covered in the last class, I get completely zoned in when I read. I easily tune out the world around me. So, when things started getting loud, I finally looked up, annoyed by the noise, only to see the classroom was totally packed. I froze. I didn't recognize a single face in there. My brain works pretty fast, though. It took me exactly 2 seconds to realize I was in the wrong room. I grabbed my books and bag and bolted for the door. Wait, isn't that Mu Chen from the med school? What's he doing here? Looks like he walked into the wrong class. My eye twitched a little, and I practically sprinted down the hall. Look, I've tried to keep a low profile since starting college, but my grades are top-notch. I'm pretty good looking, too, and with Lu Zubai bragging about me to anyone who will listen. It's kind of hard not to be known. I scrambled out the door, feeling like a total idiot. I glanced back at the room number and mentally kicked myself. I got plenty of sleep last night, and I woke up feeling great this morning. How the hell did I end up on the wrong floor? I checked my watch as I rushed up the stairs. 2 minutes until class. I picked up the pace and bolted up the steps. Just as that awful bell rang, I slid right into the doorway of my actual class. The old professor at the front just looked at me and waved me in. He was already starting his lecture. I scanned the room, spotted Lu Zubai, and hurried over to sit next to him. Chen, man, didn't you get to campus ages ago? Why are you just getting here? Zubai whispered right in my ear. Don't even ask, I went to the wrong room. I was too wrapped up in my book to notice. I propped my massive textbook up to hide my face, staring down, feeling completely humiliated. Zubai couldn't hold it in and burst out laughing. I shot him a death glare. A serious warning look, seeing how pissed off I actually was. He swallowed his laughter and sat perfectly still. We were whispering a bit too loudly, though. The professor glared our way, stopped talking, and let out a loud, pointed cough. Half the class turned around to stare at us. Now Zubai got to feel like an idiot, too. We both shut up instantly, and pretended to listen to the lecture. Right as class was wrapping up, I caught someone walking by out of the corner of my eye. It was just a split second, but I'd recognize that guy even if he were burned to ashes. It was Joe Zamo. What the hell was he doing at HU? I frowned, staring out the window for a bit. The bell finally rang. I shoved my stuff into my bag, grabbed Zubai, and dragged him out of the room. I just saw Joe Zamo. Wait, what? Joe Zamo? Zubai looked completely shocked. Is he back from overseas? I hadn't told him the news yesterday. First, I didn't want his overactive imagination, running wild with crazy theories. And honestly, I knew he'd throw a fit and try to hunt Joe Zamo down for revenge. Ever since he found out I liked Lin Wanwan, and that she was obsessed with Joe Zamo. He's absolutely hated the guy. Whenever they cross paths, Zubai always tries to pick a fight. But since Wanwan always fiercely protects Zamo, Zubai never wins, and just ends up totally furious. If I even nodded right now, he'd tear the whole campus apart looking for him. Hey, chill out, okay? Don't do anything stupid. There's no sign of Wanwan running to his defense yet, so don't go rushing off to pick a fight just yet. No way. You got your revenge, now it's my turn to blow off some steam. You know exactly what happened back then. Do you have any idea how much trash he talked about me? And all those nasty rumors going around? He was the one secretly spreading them. He's just jealous of my family's money. He thinks that someone like me, someone with zero ambition, can just ride on their family's coattails to get respect and special treatment. He thinks the whole world is completely unfair. I guess Lu Zubai really does know how to read people. He analyzed Joe Zemo's mindset perfectly. Seriously? Lu Zubai, I'm impressed. I stared at him, examining him closely, as if I were meeting him for the very first time. I really underestimated you before. I thought you were just a simple, happy-go-lucky, empty-headed rich kid. Oh, shut up and get out of here. He pretended to be mad, raising his hand and giving my shoulder a light smack. How are you just as annoying as he is? Alright, I was just kidding. I firmly grabbed his hand. If you were really the way I just described, how could you have possibly gotten into H University? You just prefer not to overthink things most of the time. You just have a pure heart, that's all. And honestly, that's a good thing. That was exactly what he wanted to hear. He gave me a smug, playful pout, and then broke into a wide grin. I'll give you that, you sure know what to say. I guess I can forgive you for making fun of me. Seeing how happy he looked, I gave his shoulder a squeeze. I want to know what he's doing here. Help me ask around. Why not just ask someone right now? Lu Zubai said, glancing around. He just walked right past here. Let me see who might know what's going on. Hey, Fan Jiru, come over here for a sec. A girl leaning against the wall a short distance away glanced in our direction, then slowly dragged her feet over to us. What do you want? Fan Jiru asked, looking completely exhausted. I was right in the middle of a nap. Sleeping is literally all you do all day. I need to ask you about someone. A guy just walked down the hallway. Did you see where he went? Fan Jiru opened her eyes just a crack. She stayed quiet for a few seconds before slowly muttering, he was holding some onboarding paperwork. So he must be a new teacher. He definitely headed straight to the principal's office. Him? A teacher at H University? Lu Zubai's eyes widened in total disbelief. You've got to be kidding me. Since when is he qualified to teach anyone? He just got back from studying abroad. Why wouldn't he be qualified? I sneered, completely full of contempt. That fancy foreign school he went to? Anyone with cash can get in. God knows how much money he blew to buy his way into that place. And now he's back here playing the big shot teacher? He really thinks he's something special, huh? The more Lu Zubai talked, the angrier he got. After saying that, he started storming toward the stairs. It was obvious he was going to start a fight. I quickly reached out and grabbed his arm. Hey, chill out for a second. Even if we don't go looking for him, he's going to come looking for us sooner or later anyway. He turned back to look at me, totally confused. How do you know that? I completely humiliated him in front of Wanwan yesterday. Now that he's actually here at H University, and a new teacher on top of that. He's definitely going to use this chance to get even, and teach me a lesson while he's at it. I gave a slight smirk, looking absolutely confident. I know him inside and out now. Lu Zubai has always trusted me. Seeing how certain I was, he pursed his lips and gave in. Alright, fine, I'll listen to you and trust you this one time. Let's just wait for him to come to us. Anyway, the next class is about to start. I gave Fan Jiru a polite smile. Thanks for your help. We're heading back to class now. Fan Jiru gave a lazy nod. She reached out and patted his shoulder, then went back to her spot, leaned against the wall, and dozed off. Lu Zubai watched her and muttered under his breath, she's seriously weird. Always sleeping against the wall. I wonder if she's actually asleep. Either she's got some bizarre habit, or she's got some hidden agenda. I looked down at him with a deep, meaningful smirk. Lu Zubai, isn't it about time you got yourself a girlfriend? Fan Jiru really was a unique character. She always kept to herself at school. Honestly, I used to wonder how someone so antisocial ended up getting to know him. Later on, I heard she was the illegitimate daughter of Fan Ming, the chairman of the fan group. Fan Ming was in a terrible car crash, and his wife and daughter were in the car with him. In the end, he was the only survivor. Once he woke up, he had her brought to his hospital bed. The implication was pretty obvious, and it was right around that time that she started fiercely pursuing Lu Zubai, and I mean, she went all in. That's exactly why I brought it up just now. Why are you being so random? He gave me a weird look. Besides, I already told you. I have absolutely no interest in relationship drama. I'm gonna live happily as a bachelor for the rest of my life. But having someone who loves you for a lifetime, that's definitely better than being alone, right? I countered with a cheeky grin. He just shook his head. I don't buy into that forever love nonsense. Honestly, even in fairy tales, the prince isn't even always the same guy. Wait, seriously? I stared at him in total shock. He just rolled his eyes at me. Look it up yourself if you don't believe me. Okay, you're the genius here. I believe you, alright? Just then, the class bell rang in our ears. I immediately dropped the subject, grabbed his arm, and dragged him back to the classroom. Halfway through the lesson, he leaned in and whispered in my ear. When is he coming to see us? We have to wait until this class is over, at least. But as soon as this class ends, it's lunch break. Under my teasing gaze, he bit the bullet and kept going. And lunch break is for eating. I'm starving over here. He was a total foodie through and through. He couldn't skip a single one of his 3 meals a day, and his mouth never stopped snacking in between, either. Keeping him from eating when it was time for food was basically sheer torture for him. Then you should hurry up and go eat. I'll just wait for him all by myself. No way. How could I possibly just ditch you like that? Do I look like the kind of guy who abandons his friends? He sounded so incredibly serious, as if I had actually been doubting him. I knew his personality way too well. I couldn't help but laugh as I asked him, "Are you absolutely sure about that? So, you're really just gonna skip lunch, huh?" He clearly hadn't thought this through. Half of him was dying for a massive lunch. But he didn't want to leave me all alone either, so he agonized over it for quite a while. Suddenly, his face lit up with joy. He grabbed my arm and said, "Didn't you say he'd come looking for you? Then let's just go to the cafeteria. He'll find his way there anyway." We just weren't thinking straight earlier. Not being flexible at all. He packed his bag at lightning speed. "Hurry up, let's go. If we're any later, they're gonna run out of my favorite food." I gave him a long, meaningful look. I didn't have the heart to tell him that he might not actually come looking for us at the cafeteria. A guy who's that obsessed with his status, trying so hard to look high class. Such an incredibly elite man. A down-to-earth place like the school cafeteria is definitely not somewhere he'd willingly step foot in. But hey, even if he doesn't come looking for me, I'll find another way to deal with him later. Missing out on this one chance doesn't really matter. It's just a pity he couldn't finally vent his anger from back then. But I totally underestimated the fallout from yesterday, when I saw him walking into the crowded cafeteria, escorted by a female teacher. I was genuinely shocked for a split second. But then, I figured he must be so bothered by it, that he was willing to swallow his pride and come all the way down here, just to find me and clear things up. I chewed on the end of my chopsticks, smiling so hard my eyes crinkled. "Hey, turn around and see who just showed up." He was too busy stuffing his face to even pay attention to me. It wasn't until Joe Zamo walked right up to our table, that he finally glanced up at him. He didn't process it at first, but then he blinked and took a really good look at him. That's when it clicked. His eyes went wide. "Well, long time no see." Joe Zamo smiled back, looking all polite and refined. His face was perfectly groomed, wearing the latest high-end suit, with an incredibly expensive watch on his wrist. Everything screamed wealth. One glance and you'd immediately think he was some highly successful guy. Or some rich kid from a wealthy family. Well, if it isn't the great young Master Joe, with such an elite status like yours, isn't coming to a place like this totally beneath you? He instantly dropped his chopsticks. He completely lost his appetite for his favorite food. His whole demeanor switched into defense mode in a second. Back in the day, compared to me, Joe Zamo actually targeted him way more. Just like right now, he had this look of absolute disgust. His words were completely ruthless. Even though they never actually threw punches, their verbal sparring was always incredibly intense. It always left a really bad taste in your mouth. How could he possibly let that go? Joe Zamo's face darkened a bit. Because he was in such a rush to find me and settle yesterday's mess, he completely forgot that Lu Zubai was even here. With Lin Wanwan not around, this blunt idiot was nothing but a huge headache for him. The female teacher who escorted him overheard all of this, and she started giving him a really weird look. "Excuse me, student, you need to watch your mouth. That is completely disrespectful. You better be careful, or you're going to cause unnecessary trouble." Joe Zamo's eyes turned deadly serious. His presence was incredibly intimidating, acting exactly like some strict professor. Unnecessary trouble? He let out a sarcastic little laugh. "Wow, studying abroad really does change a guy, huh? You sound way more arrogant than you used to. And it's not just the arrogance. You've selectively forgotten the past, too. Doesn't that make my wife a total stranger now? All those years of history, totally flushed down the drain." I quickly chimed in from the side. That was a massive bombshell to drop. Ms. Chen, the teacher who had tagged along, looked incredibly awkward. Mr. Zhou, do you actually know these two students? We sure did know him. And of course, he couldn't let Ms. Chen dig too deeply into what we were saying. He frowned and deliberately explained, but there's a bit of a misunderstanding between us. That's why they're speaking a little harshly. He looked incredibly calm, purposely leaving his words open-ended to radiate the steady confidence of a mature man. It made people want to trust him instantly. Oh, so that's what it is. A smile returned to Ms. Chen's face, her tone laced with a hint of protectiveness. I knew Mr. Zhou wouldn't be like that. So dignified, and perfectly mannered, Zhou Zimo really did have great outward appeal. Plus, he was trying so hard to play the gentleman. Taking a casual stroll around campus might not grab a 100% of everyone's attention, but it would definitely catch the eyes of quite a few single female teachers, leaving them with a great impression. Naturally, Ms. Chen was one of them. Lu Zubai let out a soft chuckle, but the smile never reached his eyes. Zhou Zimo, don't you feel guilty hearing that? I guess shameless people never show it. The two of us were perfectly in sync, and our words hit him right where it hurt. Zhou Zimo's face changed colors over and over. Like they say, two fists can't fight four hands. No matter how smooth of a talker he was losing this fight. He took a long, deep breath and turned back to Ms. Chen. His tone was slightly apologetic. Ms. Chen, thanks for bringing me over today. It's getting pretty late, you should go grab lunch. I'll handle things here myself. Honestly, I didn't mind at all. He walked over to the empty seat beside me, acting like he was going to sit down for a long chat. Ms. Chen hurriedly reached out and grabbed his arm. Her face was full of worry as she said, Mr. Zhou, why are you still sitting here? Just to listen to them keep talking to you like this? She shot a disapproving look at Lu Zubai and me, her face showing obvious displeasure. What major are you two in? This is the new pharmacy professor. You need to learn how to respect your teachers. I didn't even spare her a single glance. I just flashed Zhou Zimo a faint smile. Since Lin Wanwan isn't around, you're planning to use Ms. Chen as a human shield? I see right through you. You really are used to hiding behind others. We're clinical medicine majors. You're not a clinical medicine professor, right? Then you're definitely not in charge of us. Lu Zubai always had a mind of his own since he was a kid. He never liked people bossing him around. He definitely wasn't going to just shut up and take it just because she was a teacher. Ms. Chen was from the nursing department. She really didn't have direct authority over clinical medicine students. A flash of awkwardness crossed Ms. Chen's face, but right in front of Zhou Zimo. She didn't want to look weak, so she bit the bullet and pushed back. Even if I'm not in your department, you're still students at this school. And I'm a professor here. I have every right to pull you in line. I'm not going to argue with you about that. You do your job, and we'll keep our own opinions, okay? He picked up the chopsticks off the table, looking completely unimpressed. It's pretty rare for a teacher from a whole different department to get this involved. Why don't you just tell us to shut up? That way the professor next to you won't get his feelings hurt. Calling out her real motives so bluntly made her incredibly awkward. Zhou Zimo glanced at her, his brows knitting together slightly. If he kept running into situations like this, he was just going to be backed into a corner. He could not take control of the situation. Lin Wanwan was the only one who could give him that kind of confidence. He needed to be taken seriously, so he absolutely had to play his cards right with these connections. I was absolutely not going to back down easily. Ms. Chen did not know what else to say to us. She was afraid we would say something even more humiliating, making things even harder for him. She turned to Zhou Zimo and said gently, Mr. Zhou, they are just young and hot-headed. Do not stoop to their level. Especially for a new teacher like you, there is really no need to argue with students. What kind of teacher is he, anyway? I smiled, my expression full of hidden meaning. Did he get in through connections, or did he pull some other strings? I warned you, watch your mouth. Zhou Zimo was dead serious now, his tone dropping into a stern warning. Like Ms. Chen said, I am a teacher at this school, after all. Please show some basic respect. I just shrugged it off, completely unfazed. Keeping a relaxed smile on my face, I said, I was just asking out of curiosity. I never said that was actually the case. There is no need to get so worked up. How could he not be nervous? If he acted like he did not care, how would he convince anyone that he actually had real talent? Lu Zubai rested his chin in his hands, staring right at her. Is not that right, Ms. Chen? You are absolutely unreasonable. You have zero respect for your teachers. I honestly have no idea how students with such a terrible attitude ever got into the medical university. You are a complete disappointment to this school. Lu Zubai turned his head and looked at me. Meow. He let out a playful, mocking little cat noise. I instantly knew exactly what he meant. The two of us just chuckled under our breath. Was not she just blatantly defending him? Zhou Zimo definitely had his charms. Everywhere he went, he somehow won people over, getting them to defend him like their lives depended on it. But honestly, it was not that surprising. The guy did look pretty good on the outside, after all. People with a sketchy past always try desperately to cover it up when they are in front of those who know the truth. It would have been fine if it was just me, but with the brutally honest Lu Zubai here too? Any excuse he made now was just going to sound pathetic. I originally wanted to clear up the misunderstanding between us, so we could all get along. But since you two refused to have a decent conversation, then I have nothing more to say. I have said what I needed to say. I hope you can grow up and be a little more mature. Zhou Zimo stood up and spoke with a freezing tone. Mr. Zhou, I am sorry you had to deal with this. Looking at the deep concern all over Ms. Chen's face, he found it completely ridiculous. So he just bluntly spoke up, Ms. Chen, this glamorous-looking teacher right in front of you actually has quite a sketchy past. The clothes on his back cost an absolute fortune, way beyond what a normal person could even imagine. And that watch on his wrist is incredibly rare. Let me tell you the brand right now. You can go look it up yourself. So, do you still think we are just picking on him for no reason? We are just stating the facts here. I chimed in, keeping my smile perfectly calm. Ms. Chen's face instantly dropped. We had spelled it out so clearly for her. If she was still going to blindly take his side, she was either hopelessly naive or completely fooled by his looks. She seriously needed a wake-up call. After all, Ms. Chen had only just met him. She just had a good first impression, but she did not actually know a single thing about his real background. So, she gave Zhou Zimo one long look, did not say a word, and just turned around and walked away. Zhou Zimo looked a bit uncomfortable, standing there in silence for a moment. Mr. Zhou, I know you want to talk to me about yesterday. And try to explain yourself. But you should really read the room. Didn't you look at who was here before coming over? After all, he specializes in putting arrogant people in their place. I teased with a bright smile. Of course, I won't just roll over anymore, either. He just hasn't wrapped his head around it yet. I have absolutely no reason to hide. You say he specializes in putting people in their place. Aren't you exaggerating a bit? Zhou Zimo said, suppressing his anger. It's not like I have anything to prove. I'll be working at H University from now on. So we're bound to bump into each other on campus. I just thought I should come say hi. What exactly do you even teach? I'm actually a little curious now. Let me ask you, did you specialize in medicine when you were abroad? His face was full of suspicion, staring him down as he waited for an answer. Zhou Zimo's expression shifted slightly. I quickly adjusted my own expression. His tone was completely calm. I have my pharmacist license, so I'm qualified to teach pharmacy. He completely dodged Lu Zubai's question. Lu Zubai genuinely admired his sheer audacity. He was clearly in the wrong and lacked confidence. Yet he still managed to act so composed. Don't you think making excuses right now makes you look like a total clown? I looked down at my watch. If I were you, I'd leave right now to save what little dignity you have left. Instead of waiting around until lunch is over. Let's go. As soon as I said that, I stood up and gave Lu Zubai a nod, signaling him to leave with me. We walked side by side, striding right past Zhou Zimo. He just stood there, glaring viciously at our backs, grinding his teeth in pure rage. In the past, I was so timid around him. I wouldn't dare cross him. But 5 years is a long time. It's enough to completely change a person. He isn't surprised that I've changed, but he still can't stomach it. The young master who used to walk on eggshells around him was suddenly putting him in his place. Especially when faced with my mocking gaze, he couldn't keep his cool at all. He didn't want me to realize that I could stand tall and hold my head high, and live fearlessly and unapologetically, just like Lu Zubai. Zhou Zimo squeezed his eyes shut, then quickly stormed out of the cafeteria. Lu Zubai and I had vented our frustrations, and I felt incredibly refreshed. After my afternoon classes ended, I turned down Lu Zubai's invitation again, and went straight to the hospital. Lin Wanwan used to be a total workaholic. She rarely ever laid in bed, but now she was strictly on bed rest all day. You can imagine how miserable she felt. I, on the other hand, was in a great mood. I walked into the hospital room with a huge smile, forming a stark contrast to Lin Wanwan's cold, grumpy face. Who is she giving that nasty look to? Don't aim it at me, or I'm walking right out of here. I thought to myself. Lin Wanwan, who clearly wanted to give me attitude, took a deep breath and forced a somewhat gentle tone. Are you done with classes? I nodded blankly. Isn't that obvious? How else would I be here? Looks like her brain really did take a hit. Lin Wanwan stayed silent for a few seconds. She clearly felt like lying in this hospital bed was turning her into an idiot. She was getting pretty annoyed, wanting to throw a tantrum, but she knew she couldn't take it out on me. Otherwise, if I got mad and walked out, she'd be stuck dealing with that nasty nurse again. So, she had no choice but to bite her tongue. What's for dinner tonight? I asked, but before she could answer, I remembered something and quickly chimed back in. Oh, my bad, you're stuck eating porridge right now. Lin Wanwan's face darkened even more. After days of living off nothing but liquids, anyone would lose their mind. She was probably sick of how bland everything tasted. Your mom is bringing it over, right? I tossed my backpack to the side, sat down in the chair next to her, and kicked my legs up comfortably. Once your mom drops off your food and you finish eating, I'm heading home. So, your idea of taking care of me is just watching me eat and then bailing? Lin Wanwan demanded coldly. Well, yeah, what else? I raised an eyebrow. How else do you expect me to take care of you? Wait on you hand and foot? You've gotta be kidding me. Lin Wanwan let out a furious laugh. You just wait. I rolled my eyes at the ceiling. I knew she'd make me pay once she could move again anyway. But honestly, I was already in too deep. I might as well piss her off while she's helpless, just to get my money's worth. Getting on her nerves was a total win for me. Do you really think you can piss me off? Her question perfectly matched my inner thoughts, and my heart skipped a beat. I shot her a guarded look. There was no way she knew what I was thinking, right? No, absolutely not. It had to be a pure coincidence. Still, this woman was seriously terrifying. Anyone who wasn't careful around her would feel completely exposed. I guess not, I said, crossing my arms over my chest and quietly staring down the woman in front of me. I'm just not skilled enough yet. You got into that car crash way too early. Give me another 2 years, and I could probably pull it off. Lin Wanwan let out a cold scoff. I never realized you had such a sharp tongue. Well, I hadn't seen the light back then. I was basically an idiot. Now that I've wised up, I'm a whole lot sharper. I sneered to myself. This smart mouth of mine was directly inherited from Chu Huilin. Getting the upper hand against me in an argument was damn near impossible. Whether it was Zhou Zimo or Lin Wanwan, neither of them was a match for me. After that, we both went completely silent. The hospital room fell into a dead silence, until Wen Xiaojun finally showed up and broke the tension. Mom knows you have no appetite for plain porridge, so I added some chicken today. Try to eat a little more, okay? Unlike the usual days where she'd constantly pick fights with me, today, Wen Xiaojun acted like I was completely invisible. It wasn't until she poured the porridge into a bowl and picked it up that she finally shot me an icy glare. Some people talk such a big game, making all these fancy promises, but when it actually comes time to step up, they're absolutely useless. As soon as she finished speaking, she let out a harsh, mocking laugh. I decided to just laugh right along with her, though I made sure to sound a little thick-headed. Who was she trying to be passive-aggressive with? As long as I played dumb, her little insults had absolutely nothing to do with me. I just flat-out ignored the bait. Let's see how much that pisses you off. From her hospital bed, Lin Wanwan cast a quick glance my way, a faint trace of amusement hiding in her eyes. Seeing me just grinning like an idiot and keeping quiet, Wen Xiaojun huffed in annoyance. As if my daughter getting into a car crash isn't unlucky enough. Can you stop bringing up those 2 words? Wen Xiaojun yelled angrily. Her precious daughter had suffered terribly, and it broke her heart. She couldn't stand hearing those 2 words at all. I zipped my lips shut, which probably made me look even more infuriating. Wen Xiaojun took a few deep breaths, barely suppressing her burning rage. She grabbed my hand, shoved a bowl into it, and snapped, "You better take good care of my daughter. You said it yourself, you'd take care of her until she's discharged. You're not allowed to go home tonight either." I lowered my eyes to the bowl in my hands, a sly gleam flashing in my eyes. "But I have to go to school." Wen Xiaojun's face changed. "Didn't you drop out? Well, you were the one who told me to get a divorce." What else am I supposed to do but go back to school after that? Luckily, my grades are top-notch, and my counselor didn't want to lose such a talent. He never submitted my dropout application, so I can keep studying. Otherwise, my whole life would have been ruined by someone. Lin Wanwan absolutely hated it when people meddled, especially when elders interfered in her marriage and relationships. I said this just to deliberately provoke Wen Xiujun, while taking the chance to heavily brag about myself and sarcastically clap back at her. Just as I expected, Lin Wanwan's face immediately darkened, and she glared gloomily at Wen Xiujun. Feeling guilty, Wen Xiujun looked away, then stubbornly argued back, "I wasn't the one who told you two to get a divorce. He was the one who brought it up first." As soon as the words left her mouth, she glared at me in furious anger. "How can you just make up lies like that, kid?" I shrugged indifferently and chuckled with a calm tone. Maybe I remembered it wrong. But of course, I didn't remember it wrong. I clearly said it on purpose. No matter what the real situation was, this was still giving Wen Xiujun an out. Although she was displeased, her expression did soften a lot. "You're staying here tonight to take care of Wanwan. She can't move right now, and I don't trust anyone else to look after her." Wen Xiujun pointed at the bowl in my hand. "I have some things to take care of. Feed the porridge to Wanwan." Well, she sure made it sound nice, saying she didn't trust anyone else. If she was so worried, why not do it herself? To put it bluntly, she just wanted to torment me and ruin my peace of mind. Leaving her in my care is what she should be worried about the most. Who knows, if I'm in a bad mood one day, I might just settle old scores with her daughter. This time, Lin Wanwan wouldn't be able to laugh it off. She was truly in danger now, and this was no laughing matter. Without changing my expression, I held the spoon handle and turned to look at Lin Wanwan. "Don't worry, I will take good care of her." I placed heavy emphasis on the words good care. Lin Wanwan's eyes darkened slightly, her face full of absolute warning. I quickly shifted my gaze away, pretending I couldn't see a thing. Seeing that I wasn't talking back anymore, Wen Xiujun didn't say much else. She just turned around, grabbed her bag, and left. As she was leaving, she deliberately said to Shu Jiaqi at the door, "If he leaves, let me know." Well, guess I have to stay today whether I want to or not. If I walked out right now, it would completely shatter Wen Xiujun's ego, and she'd absolutely lose her mind later. Once Wen Xiujun was far gone, I patiently started feeding the porridge to Lin Wanwan. For a while, neither of us said a single word. The hospital room was dead silent. I noticed she had been looking down this whole time, but suddenly, she looked up at something right behind me. Totally confused, I turned around. The woman standing behind me was incredibly tall. She was standing so close, it felt like I was staring straight into a brick wall. It scared the living daylights out of me. I frowned and looked up, meeting a smug, arrogant face. I knew this woman very well. It was Lin Wanwan's cousin, Wen Xiujun's brother's daughter. Her name was Mu Yulu. In the past, Mu Yulu was just like Lin Wanwan. They both absolutely despised me. The reason was simple, she thought I wasn't good enough, that I didn't deserve her precious cousin. Every time she saw me, she'd make sure to throw some nasty insults my way. If it were just verbal abuse, that would have been fine. I could totally just ignore it. It wouldn't really hurt me anyway. But Mu Yulu was completely twisted. She'd always play dirty tricks on me behind my back. That's why I absolutely loathed her. Man, how could I forget about her? I used to suffer so much because of her. When I get the chance, I definitely need to teach her a lesson. Lin Wanwan actually heard my inner thoughts. She glared at Mu Yulu, looking pretty annoyed. Her cousin had been a total pain in the neck since childhood. Not only was she petty and vindictive, but if she just didn't like the look of someone, even if they hadn't done anything wrong, she'd still come up with some sick way to mess with them. She was just a deeply rotten person inside. If I really went through all that before, I must have been bullied by her non-stop. "You better back off," Lin Wanwan warned her coldly. This was literally the first thing she said to Mu Yulu. It sounded completely random to me, but Mu Yulu totally got the message. She raised an eyebrow in shock, looking completely utterly baffled. Doesn't my cousin absolutely hate me? Why is she suddenly defending me? I really didn't want to clash with Mu Yulu right now, so I put the bowl on the nightstand, stood up, and stepped aside. Lin Wanwan looked visibly annoyed. She spoke in a freezing tone. "I haven't finished my soup. Eating less at night is good for you," I replied with a faint smile. Before Lin Wanwan could even say a word, Mu Yulu sneered from the side. Looks like you're just terrified of me. You don't even have the guts to sit there anymore. Well, you're right, but also wrong. Haven't you noticed? Whenever I see you on campus, I literally walk the other way. I'm just scared your massive ego and my fragile little life might just get crushed by your nasty temper. It'd be a real shame if I dropped dead, right? I said, giving her a little mock bow. I made sure to look super polite, but the words coming out of my mouth were dripping with pure sarcasm. Mu Yulu's face darkened with rage. Normally, when she picked on me, I wouldn't even dare say a word back. Now, she was getting a taste of her own medicine for the very first time. It made her absolutely furious. Don't think just because you married my cousin that you've hit the jackpot and can just look down on everybody else. To her, you're absolutely nothing. You're nothing but trash. Mu Yulu always had a filthy mouth, but I had heard these nasty insults a million times before. I was completely immune to them by now. My expression shifted just a little, as I kept up that same cheerful smile. You're overthinking it. I know exactly where I stand. No need to exhaust yourself just to remind me. My words sounded perfectly polite at first, but they were guaranteed to make her blood boil. She wanted to throw a fit, but knew losing her temper would just make her look petty. Mu Yulu was absolutely disgusted. The best way to deal with someone like that is to give them a taste of their own medicine. Too bad she didn't understand that. You've got it way too easy. Mu Yulu charged right at me, her face twisted in pure rage. If I don't teach you a lesson today, I'll change my damn name. My expression, however, remained completely blank. I wasn't scared in the slightest. I just stood there, without moving a single muscle. What an idiot. If she started a fight and made the news, it wouldn't just be her family. The Lin family would be dragged right into the scandal too. Their company stocks would tank, and who knows how many millions they'd lose. Come on, hit me already. Stop dragging your feet. Lin Wanwan's face instantly darkened, and she shouted sternly, Mu Yulu, am I invisible to you? Mu Yulu stopped dead in her tracks. She turned around, whining with a heavy hint of grievance. Wanwan, he's being such a jerk. Which one of you is actually being a jerk here? Lin Wanwan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She glared sternly at Yulu. Even so, you can't just go around hitting people. I wasn't going to hit him. I might have a bad temper, but I don't just go around throwing punches. Oh, so you actually have principles. I clicked my tongue in heavy disappointment, and continued provoking her with a smug look. If you weren't going to hit me, then why did you come charging at me? What, were you going to give me a massage? Mu Chen, Yulu's eyes were bloodshot. She was absolutely losing her mind. No one had ever managed to piss her off this much before. There's a first time for everything, but she really hated that he was the one doing it. How dare this loser, who used to always bow his head to her, suddenly stand tall and deal her such a humiliating blow? The more she thought about it, the more it stung. I'm right here. No need to scream my name. I dug at my ear with a pinky, looking as infuriatingly arrogant as humanly possible. I don't know what's gotten into you, but I'm not my cousin. You'd better watch your back, Yulu warned through gritted teeth. Is that a threat? I raised an eyebrow. Oh, please don't. I'm shaking in my boots. For an annoying brat like you. Oh, wait, was I not supposed to say that? I am so sorry. That was just a little slip of the tongue. I'm sure you're the bigger person here, so please don't take it to heart. Are you losing your mind yet? If you've got the guts, come over here and hit me. In all her life, she had never met anyone like this. He was literally begging for a beatdown. Either Mu Chen had completely lost his mind, or he was deeply disturbed. What normal person would even think like that? Yulu was seriously on the verge of exploding. Her fists clenched and uncurled over and over, her face screaming just how badly she wanted to punch him. But despite everything, she still knew she couldn't just throw a punch. Especially not right in front of Lin Wanwan. So, that furious energy bubbling in her chest, that raging fire in her gut, she had absolutely no way to let it out. It was agonizing, to say the least, seeing her just stand there glaring daggers at me, without the slightest intention of making a move. I knew pushing her buttons any further was useless. I suddenly lost all interest, turned around, and walked to the water dispenser for a drink. I'll have to find another way later. I definitely need to teach her a harsh lesson, so she'll never dare provoke me again. It'd be best if she takes a massive detour the second she sees me. Lin Wanwan listened to my inner thoughts, her expression turning even darker. Mu Yulu, don't mess with him anymore. Mu Yulu stared at her, wide-eyed. You're actually defending him? He humiliated me so much today. I have to make him pay for it. I'm just afraid you're the one who'll pay. Lin Wanwan sighed, almost inaudibly. She didn't say anything more. Maybe it really was true. This cousin of hers absolutely needed to learn a lesson. Her body was constantly aching right now, so she had no energy to deal with this nonsense. Closing her eyes, she replied softly, "Just go home. I need to rest. Sis, I'll leave right away. But I have to ask a few questions first." Mu Yulu dropped her angry look and sat down on the chair with a beaming smile. Lin Wanwan opened one eye to look at her. "Ask what? Is brother Zhou Zimo back?" Standing by the water dispenser, I instantly froze, raising my eyes to look straight over. My ears perked right up. "If you have nothing else to say, just leave." Lin Wanwan looked extremely annoyed, but rather than believing her cousin had fallen for Mu Chen, Mu Yulu was convinced she was just acting out. So, she lowered her head and earnestly tried to persuade her. "Sis, brother Zhou Zimo is proud by nature. Plus, since grandpa forced you to marry someone else back then, he definitely holds a grudge. It's totally normal for him to be giving you the cold shoulder. Now that he's finally willing to come back to the country, you can't be throwing a fit too. What if he goes abroad and doesn't come back for years? You'll be crying with regret." Exactly. If he goes abroad for another 5 years, mine and your sister's kids will be old enough to call him uncle. My perfectly timed comeback turned both of their faces totally livid. They looked absolutely furious. How can anyone in the world have such a toxic mouth? It's a miracle Mu Chen hasn't been beaten to death. Why are you all staring at me? I blinked innocently. Did I say something wrong? You seriously think you can have kids with my sister? You don't even look that good. But you sure dream big. Mu Yulu sneered, her face full of disgust. It's not just a dream. Your sister and I are a legally married couple. Think about it, we share the same room every single day, and sleep in the same bed at night. Having a baby is bound to happen sooner or later. Unless, your sister's body just can't handle it. The moment the words left my mouth, I turned to Lin Wanwan with a highly suggestive smirk on my face. Feeling deeply humiliated, a faint flush crept onto Lin Wanwan's cheeks. But it wasn't out of shyness. She was just incredibly pissed off by me. Did you forget about one other possibility? Lin Wanwan's beautiful face was ice cold. I raised an eyebrow. What possibility? Isn't it just that we won't sleep together? I can see right through your little mind. How on earth can this mind-reading superpower disappear? She was terrified that if it didn't go away, this hospital stay alone would shave 10 years off her life. Both of you, get out. Lin Wanwan closed her eyes wearily. I need to get some rest. Sis, about you and Zemo. Are you deaf? I'm talking to you. Lin Wanwan's eyes snapped open. Her gaze so freezing cold it was terrifying. My love life is none of your damn business. Worry about yourself first. Anyone who knew Lin Wanwan knew. She didn't want to hear another word right now. Even though Mu Yulu was frustrated, she smartly chose to leave. Once she was far enough away, I pretended like nothing had just happened and calmly walked into the bathroom. When I came back out, my face was dripping with water. Looking like I just washed it. I was pretty young right now, at the age where my skin was flawless and glowing. Plus, with my fair complexion, my sharp jawline under the light made my skin look as smooth as silk. It made you want to just reach out and pinch my cheeks to see if they felt as soft as they looked. Lin Wanwan stared intently at me, her eyes dark and unreadable. It was this very same vibrant boy who had once loved her with his own life. Wholeheartedly, yet, she had tossed him aside like yesterday's trash. She couldn't even imagine the kind of abuse I had suffered from her in the past, which made her hear my agonizing inner voice late at night. Lin Wanwan's emotions were a total mess, but I couldn't care less about any of that. Right now, I just wanted to get a good night's sleep, so I could wake up refreshed for class tomorrow. Even as I climbed into bed and pulled up the covers, I didn't glance at Lin Wanwan once. I treated her completely like thin air. A flash of annoyance crossed Lin Wanwan's eyes. She let out a light cough, trying to get my attention. I decided to humor her a bit, and turned to look at her. Is your throat bothering you? Lin Wanwan coughed a few more times. Pour me a glass of water. I had just gotten comfortable. I really didn't want to drag myself out of bed, but in this situation, I had no choice. Scowling, I reluctantly dragged myself up. After I got the water and came back, my movements while helping her drink were rough. You couldn't even call it helping her drink. It was practically force-feeding her. Cough, cough, cough. You, Mu Chen. Thanks to my relentless help, Lin Wanwan's defenses completely crumbled. She choked and started coughing violently. Oh, my bad, I'm just so sleepy. I spaced out for a second there. That apology had absolutely zero sincerity. My face practically screamed, yeah, I did that on purpose. That's what you get for ordering me around. Let's see if you ever try that again. Cough. Whatever. My inner thoughts were honestly pretty wicked. Lin Wanwan's eyes were practically shooting fire. Just as she was about to snap at me, she suddenly saw something and completely froze in her tracks. A few seconds later, she was so furious that she actually started laughing. Mu Chen, what the hell are you doing with my face towel? I glanced at the light blue towel hanging on the door handle and answered casually. Drying my feet. Why, that towel is for washing my face. The caregiver had been using it to wash her face every single day lately. She knew it all too well. I put on a wildly exaggerated look of shock. Oh, I had no idea. When I was staying here a few days ago, I used it to dry my feet too. Don't tell me you've been. I clamped my hands over my mouth before I could finish the sentence. I looked at her with a mix of disgust and pity. Lin Wanwan didn't say a single word. She just stared right back at me with those cold, dead eyes. I don't know how much time passed before the corners of her mouth slowly curled up, and she let out this weird, unreadable little laugh. I seriously started wondering if she'd lost her mind. Man, if I actually drove her crazy, and she decides to drag herself out of bed just to wreck me, I'm screwed. Maybe I should tone it down a bit. Look, I was just messing with you. Don't take it so seriously. But Lin Wanwan wasn't buying my bullshit for a second. Her face darkened, and she yelled out, Shu Jiaqi. My expression froze. I instantly had a really bad feeling about this. This crazy woman was definitely up to no good. Shu Jiaqi had been waiting right outside the door the whole time. Hearing her name, she pushed the door open and walked in. Her eyes quickly swept across my face, and a faint trace of amusement flickered in them. Miss Lin? Shu Jiaqi walked over to the side of the hospital bed, stopped, and gave a polite, slight bow. What are your orders? Starting today, keep your eyes glued to the man standing behind you. Do not let him step a single foot out of this hospital. Hearing that, I absolutely lost it. I snapped at her. Who the hell gives you the right to lock me up? Because I am your legal wife. Lin Wanwan let out a cold little scoff. And honestly, even if I wasn't, if I don't want you leaving this hospital, what exactly are you gonna do about it? I was so pissed I couldn't even speak. Using power to bully people is such a cheap move. What a sore loser. This was the very first time she'd seen me totally at a loss for words. You could tell her mood instantly improved. Whenever you learn how to behave yourself, I'll let you go. Otherwise, you can just wait until I'm discharged. And we can leave together. I narrowed my eyes, glaring at Lin Wanwan. How was I ever blind enough to fall for her in the first place? Was it seriously just because she had a pretty face? I never noticed it in my past life, but looking at her now, yeah, that was definitely it. Because once the rose-tinted glasses came off, I realized something. Aside from her good looks, she is absolutely useless. As Lin Wanwan listened to my inner thoughts, her eyes couldn't help but dim. She knew perfectly well just how much I hated her now. She knew acting this way would only make me resent her more. But lately, I was just like a hedgehog, tightly guarding my fragile heart. Anyone who tried to get close just got stabbed. I was completely on the defensive. She had already tried playing nice and acting soft, but I refused to have a decent conversation with her. So now, this desperate move was her only option. She'd force me to stay right by her side, completely cutting off my escape routes. Boiling the frog slowly, taking her time, hoping that sooner or later, I'd calm down enough to actually talk to her. Fine, you win. I mean, what else was I supposed to do? I just sat back down on my bed and fully embraced the whole giving up on life vibe. Well, guess I'm skipping school then. I'll just focus entirely on taking care of you right here. I looked right at Lin Wanwan, tilted my head, and slapped on a fake smile as I added. I promise to take incredibly good care of you. By the time you leave, it'll be like that car crash never even happened. The sarcasm was practically dripping from my voice. It would be a miracle if Lin Wanwan couldn't pick up on it. Yet her expression didn't change one bit. She just gave a calm, slight nod. Good, I sincerely hope you keep your word. At that very moment, my mind was completely blank. Even Lin Wanwan couldn't figure out what the hell I was thinking. So, she didn't say anything else, and I just threw myself right back onto the bed. Lying on my side, staring at the wall, silently grinding my teeth. That wicked woman, you wanna lock me up, huh? Well, just you wait and see. Don't even think about having a moment of peace before we're discharged. You trapped me and ruined me once before. I won't let you push me around this time, no matter what. Hearing my inner voice, Lin Wanwan furrowed her brows. Locked up once and killed? Where on earth was he locked up? Holding on to her doubts, Lin Wanwan kept listening, but didn't catch any more useful information. She tilted her head to look over at the other bed, only to see that I had rolled over at some point. I was facing her, eyes closed, already dozing off. She gritted her teeth in frustration. She was trying so hard to figure out what I had been through. Thinking until her head literally throbbed, while I had just drifted right off to sleep. Talk about being completely carefree. Lin Wanwan sulked all by herself for ages, before finally closing her eyes and going to sleep too. A dreamless night. When I woke up the next morning, Lin Wanwan was still fast asleep. I glanced at my phone on the nightstand, grabbed it, and immediately hit play. Please take my song, back to your home. Please leave your smile behind. Tomorrow. The loud children's song echoed through the hospital room. Still half asleep, Lin Wanwan squeezed her eyes shut in annoyance. She quickly snapped her eyes open, glaring at me with pure morning rage. What the hell are you doing? Just listening to some music. I beamed at her with a massive grin. I have a habit of listening to music when I wake up. I am so sorry. Did I wake you up? You knew it would wake me up, and you still played it? Lin Wanwan hated that she was completely paralyzed. Otherwise, she would have absolutely jumped up and strangled me to death. I just gave her a careless shrug. I'm used to waking up all by myself. I totally forgot you were even here. Lin Wanwan took a deep, angry breath. A living, breathing human was lying right across from him. And I actually had the nerve to say that. Of course I did it on purpose. Turn it off, Lin Wanwan ordered in an icy tone. Well, since you're already awake, why would I turn it off? Just listen to some tunes with me. Music puts people in a great mood. And a happy mood means a faster recovery. I'm really just doing this for your own good. If Lin Wanwan couldn't read his mind, she might have actually fallen for that total nonsense. This guy was just taking revenge on her for keeping him stuck in the hospital. He was cursing her out in his head. I've got plenty of time to teach you how to behave. Lin Wanwan let out a cold sneer. Let's just see who can hold out longer. My eyes instantly darkened. I didn't even want to talk to her anymore. Does she really not know how to do anything but threaten people? Lin Wanwan gave a slight smirk. Never mind whether she knew any other tricks. As long as this trick worked and made me shut up, that was enough. Shu Jiaqi delivered their meals right on time at 7 o'clock every day. Right on the dot, Shu Jiaqi knocked on the door. Lin Wanwan glanced toward the doorway. As soon as she did, the door was gently pushed open. Shu Jiaqi placed the thermal lunchbox on the nightstand. Then, she leaned in slightly and spoke to Lin Wanwan. Miss Lin, there's a document I need you to take a look at. Lin Wanwan gave a calm nod. I stared at Shu Jiaqi, completely curious as I asked. You're out there standing guard every single day. Do you not even need to sleep? I'm not out there the whole time. I have colleagues who swap shifts with me. After opening the file, Shu Jiaqi turned her head and replied slowly. That's quite a coincidence. You're always here every time I visit. I put on a sweet smile, looking handsome and striking in the sunlight. Lin Wanwan gave me a look, feeling a bit uneasy inside. But she didn't say much. With Shu Jiaqi holding the documents, whenever Lin Wanwan finished a page and nodded, she would turn to the next one. A document was quickly reviewed. Sign it for me. Lin Wanwan's voice was flat. Shu Jiaqi closed the folder. Just as she was about to turn and leave, I looked up at her. Have you had breakfast yet? I have. Shu Jiaqi paused for a moment, then added politely. Thank you for asking, sir. I chuckled, and didn't say anything more. Shu Jiaqi, what are you just standing around for? Lin Wanwan glared at us with displeasure. Shu Jiaqi didn't dare to linger. She nodded at me and hurried out of the hospital room. Why are you being so fierce? With a boss like you, I really feel bad for Shu Jiaqi. Lin Wanwan laughed. She was so angry at me that she actually laughed. In my eyes, her sudden laughter was honestly quite terrifying. I turned my face away in disgust. Lin Wanwan was boiling with rage, and coldly announced, from this moment on, you will focus entirely on taking care of me. If I'm not satisfied, I absolutely won't leave this hospital. There's no point in you doing this. My expression looked awful. Zhou Zimo is back in the country. Why don't you hurry up and get him to take care of you? Why do you keep clinging to me? Lin Wanwan sneered, because it makes me happy. A mocking smile appeared on my face. I think you just can't bear to see him get tired. Lin Wanwan, could you be any more fake? Only Zhou Zimo is a human being to you, and I'm not, right? Lin Wanwan knew that admitting it would absolutely infuriate me, but she didn't want me to despise her even more. So she slowly shook her head. I just think you're more useful. More useful? What the hell? My expression was hard to describe. Lin Wanwan, did the doctor say there's something wrong with your head? Because if they didn't, I think they might have misdiagnosed you. You can rest assured, my brain is perfectly fine. Lin Wanwan curled her lips into a smile. More than enough to teach you a lesson, anyway. Lin Wanwan had long, narrow eyes. When she wasn't smiling, she gave off a very cold vibe. She looked extremely intimidating, but when she smiled, she appeared incredibly charming. Exceptionally captivating. I fell in love at first sight because of that very smile. Every time I saw Lin Wanwan, I hoped she would smile at me. Unfortunately, she rarely smiled, and even when she did, it was only for Zhou Zimo. Facing me, she always kept a cold expression. So now, I hated her smile. It was this smile that trapped me in this mess, doomed to suffer forever. My mood suddenly hit rock bottom. I looked away and said coldly, "Suit yourself, I'm going to wash up." With that said, I turned around and walked quickly into the bathroom. I closed the door and stand in front of the sink. I turn the tap to cold, cup some water in my hands, and splash it on my face. The pain from the past cuts way too deep. Even if I've come to terms with it now, that damage is real. It's never just going to disappear. It takes a whole lifetime to heal. I can't keep living like this. I need to keep my distance. I can't let her affect me anymore, not even a little bit. I'll just grit my teeth until she's discharged. After that, she goes her way, and I go mine. We'll have absolutely nothing to do with each other. With my mind made up, I finish washing up and step back into the room. I walk over to the bedside table and, keeping my face completely blank, open the thermos. I get ready to feed Lin Wanwan. But those thoughts I just muttered in the bathroom. She heard every single word. She stares at me, her face full of complicated emotions. She clearly wants to say something. But seeing how incredibly defensive I am right now, there's really nothing left to say. After thinking it over, she chooses to stay quiet. I stick strictly to the decision I just made. I quietly focus on feeding her, not saying a single word the entire time. We fall into an eerie silence, with neither of us making a move to break the tension. Once I finish feeding her, I open the other lunchbox and start eating my own food. When I'm done, I look at her and say in a flat tone, "I can't stay away from school for too long. You're going to take care of that for me, right?" Wanwan nods. She'll have Shu Jiaqi pull some strings. A thing like this is child's play for her. Just a quick word is all it takes. That's the perk of being rich and powerful. It solves 99% of your problems. And the remaining 1% just means you aren't rich and powerful enough. I stand up from my chair. "I'm going to get your meds from the nurse," I say. "The nurse will bring them later," she replies. Acting like I didn't even hear her, I just turn around and walk toward the door. I just want to spend as little time in the same room as possible. Otherwise, I'm afraid I won't be able to hold back my sarcasm. Ignore Lin Wanwan as much as possible is going to be my motto for a while. Standing outside the ward is a guy in a suit. I know who he is. He's been Wanwan's secretary for years. His name is Shu Hua. There's not even a hint of a smile on his face. He just gives me a token nod. He has absolutely zero intention of actually greeting me. He hates my guts. His reasoning is similar to Mu Yulu's, yet different. The similarity is that they both think I'm not good enough for her. But the difference is, he thinks he is. I just don't get it. Sure, the Mu family might have fallen on hard times, but I'm still a young master. I'm not bad looking, and I'm highly educated. In what universe am I not good enough for Lin Wanwan? I don't understand why so many people think that. Am I really that awful, and I'm just completely blind to it? But even at my worst, I'm still way better than the guy standing right in front of me. What makes him think I'm unworthy? And he isn't? The more I think about it, the more pissed off I get. I was going to just walk right past him, but I change my mind and stop right in his face. I give him an unreadable smile. It clearly makes him uncomfortable. He takes a step back, furrowing his brows as he asks, "Aren't you going to address me properly?" Shu Hua lets out a mocking scoff. He looks at me with absolute contempt. Even though he didn't say it out loud, I knew exactly what he was implying. Like hell you're worthy. I reached out and pinched the ID badge right on his chest. Name's Shu Hua. Shu Hua violently slapped my hand away. I can't believe someone from H University can't even read. I really worry for your future patients. I sure hope you'll be one of them. I shot back with a grin. Shu Hua's eyes turned icy, and he waved his hand in utter annoyance. Like he was swatting a fly. If there's nothing else, please leave. Stop interrupting my work. Oh, so you call this working? I dramatically dropped my jaw in fake surprise. Are you the janitor? I looked around the room, pretending to be totally confused. Where's your mop and bucket then? Mu Chen. Shu Hua snapped my name in anger. If you're sick, go check yourself into the psych ward. I don't have time to bicker with you. Do I look like I have nothing to do all day like you? Did you think I was just going to take it? My expression instantly turned cold. My aura spiked with pure authority. You're just a secretary to my wife. What gives you the right to act so cocky? Or what? Are you her lover? Is that why you've got so much nerve? Mr. Mew, watch your mouth. Boss Lin and I have a strictly professional relationship. I won't let you slander us. Shu Hua's face flushed with fury. So you've just got a big mouth then, huh? I let out a cold sneer. I leaned right into his ear. I admire your guts, but unfortunately for you, I don't like it. Know your damn place. Show some respect next time you see me, or I'll have you thrown out of the company. And you'll never get to stand by Boss Lin's side ever again. Shu Hua's face instantly paled. I took a step back, going right back to my cheerful, smiling self. And trust me, I'm not just bluffing. Shu Hua took a deep, shaky breath, forcing himself to calm down. I work directly for Boss Lin. You have zero authority to fire me. Try me, if you don't believe it. I might not have the official authority, but I definitely have the power to do it. With that said, I turned and walked away without looking back. I put up with Lin Wanwan and Zhou Zimo, but I sure as hell don't need to put up with a nobody like Shu Hua. If he dares to piss me off, I'll make sure he regrets it. I didn't actually come out to look for a nurse. I headed downstairs to grab a can of coffee. Afterwards, I sat on a bench facing the main entrance, sipping my drink while keeping an eye on the outside. Wondering if Lin Wanwan's goons were stationed out there, I half stood up before sitting right back down. They most likely were, since Lin Wanwan gave the order. Shu Jiaqi would definitely enforce it to the letter. But being trapped in this hospital like a prisoner was seriously pissing me off. I chugged the rest of my coffee in one go. I crushed the empty can and headed straight for the doors. Even if they had guards out there, I had to test the waters myself. If I tried and failed, at least I'd know for sure. Saves me the agony of constantly wondering. Please go back. Just as I thought, I hadn't even taken a single step out the door, when a guy suddenly stepped up and blocked my path. I quietly pulled my foot back. Giving him a fake, totally deadpan smile, I said, "Wow, you're really dedicated to your job. Keep up the good work." "You flatter me, sir. Did you really think I was complimenting you?" A tight knot of frustration settled right in my chest. I couldn't swallow it down, but I couldn't vent it out either. It was absolutely maddening. I stood there trying to calm down for ages before finally walking away. As I walked past a trash can, I fiercely chucked my coffee can into it. Then I went upstairs and walked right into Lin Wanwan's hospital room. A nurse was busy changing her bandages. I briefly let my eyes sweep over her body. My brow furrowed a little. Wounds like these are definitely going to leave scars once they heal. I don't even know if her skin will fully recover. Wait, why the hell am I thinking about all this nonsense? What does it matter to me if she gets scarred or not? My brain really must be short-circuiting today. Maybe it's just because that face of hers is, honestly, absolutely top tier. She's like a perfect piece of art. It would be a damn shame to leave a flaw on it. Thinking of it like that, my expression softened up a bit. That coffee I drank was starting to make my mouth dry. I walked over to the water cooler and poured myself a cup of water. The nurse turned her head and looked me up and down. My eyes happened to lock right onto hers. I just let out a cheeky grin, and couldn't stop myself from running my mouth again. Isn't my wife in name just gorgeous? The nurse looked completely bewildered by my question. It took her a few seconds before she gave a dumbfounded nod. She's all yours. No need to thank me. You really love to joke around, sir. The nurse felt incredibly awkward.